So, welcome again to
Hi,
the
Gagan.
hi, welcome again to the second part of our conversations. So, last time you touched upon uncertainty, that how the brain seeks certainty and predictability in everything that goes about in our day to day life and in the larger picture also.
Yep.
And the problem is that
Yep.
uh, when we see uncertainty as a problem, and you also uh, mentioned about the relativity and how the universe itself is a chaos, and yet we humans live in a complete opposing idea of certainty. So, please explain,
Right.
how do you see uncertainty with respect to life, and how do you think we should rather be navigating through it? Yeah.
All right. So let me take a very larger word called reality. So I think even if we talk of reality, there is not one monolithical explanation of reality. And to see at what level I was talking about uncertainty, we have to just take a step back.
Mm.
Like, obviously, we know physical laws. So they may have their own set of probability, nonlinear dynamics, chaos, and entropy and relativity from the micro to the macro world. But largely, the physical world is functioning in a more or less predictable way with its own surprises and all. So if you look prior to 1900, the world was considered to be a Newtonian world, which was more or less cause effect relationship, slightly deterministic. And this determinism continued to for last 300 years. Till in 1900, quantum physics came in, and then Einstein brought. Einstein actually was a man who was trained in more traditional science, but he ended up breaking up most of them. He, from with Max Planck, quantum physics, and relativity, and all. So that brought in. Plus, if people talk of postmodern world where objectivity took a beating, and the more subjective opinions and all those that came in, that toppled the frame of a very, very definite deterministic world. But the physical world still continued. So if you look at it from that angle, our minds and our brain work in a classical world with understanding of cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
See, that is what gives you some
Yes.
amount of certainty and direction.
Mm.
That is on one hand. If you go back and look at the knowledge base which has been built up right from scriptures 5,000 years back, Vedas and Upanishads, and to all different cultures and Islam later on, and Chinese and Greek philosophy. What was the mind seeking? The mind was seeking some absolute answers, probably that emanated from man would have realized very early that he is not immortal,
Mm-hmm.
and the when people would have realized that death is the inevitable, so a lot of it went on to praying to God for security, praying to. So mind was always looking for some power beyond its own existence at an individual level and a collective level, which
Mm-hmm.
could assure them that things are more certain. Doesn't matter. Your life may be finite and you may die, but there is a world beyond that, which obviously brought in the concept of rebirth, reincarnation, as in Hindu philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there are a lot of other things which came in, like karma. You do good karma, that world will be. So it was always a promise of the other world, even if this ended.
Yeah.
But that did not take away the anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
That did not take away. All rituals, all prayer, worship, at the end of the day, has been an effort to look at some power which can assure us in the moments of crisis. So that anxiety. So I often wonder whether what we call anxiety of survival is not actually something separate from us. Our survival is anxiety
Uh,
because at some point of time while you're growing up, we
mhm,
all realize that everything is going to end. And that sense of meaninglessness
mhm,
and the sense of nihilism, if not handled properly,
mhm.
and if it is not thought of, can create a lot of dejection and anxiety. And so we all, so, and then came the society. Society also, even if today also you look at the political systems,
Yes.
we are always looking for somebody who would lead the clan,
Yeah.
tribal mind. You have to head ahead. Who can assure us? So whether it is the president of America who should assure us that, no, don't worry, I'll take care of everything, or a prime minister, or even in the family, you have to have a leader.
Uh, the internet has some problems, so I lost your voice. Yeah. So, yeah,
Am
we
I
are.
audible?
Yes, yes. Excuse me, I don't know
Don't
where's the
worry.
problem with the internet. Yeah.
So
So,
don't worry,
you
don't
can.
worry, don't worry. So what I'm saying that I'll just call you in one sometime. Okay. So what was happening is, so so when it came down from the powers beyond the earth,
Mm-hmm.
it came down to our lives. Within a family also, you need a figure who will say that things are. So that gives us a lot of assurance.
Yeah.
That is the level of uncertainty I'm talking about. So systems may be working well,
Yeah.
your DNAs and everything with its own inherent probabilities and randomness and uh, surprises in
Mm-hmm.
biology and the physical geography. And but the world is largely moving physically. It is not getting destroyed. It When it gets destroyed, universe is. So people have brought in theories about that. There's a lot of debate and whether it is the uncertainty which I was pointing out
Mm-hmm.
is this uncertainty which has evolved in the evolution of our brains.
Explain, please. Yeah.
So evolution of our brain has brought in this primal fear of death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the two fears which actually haunt us, one is death of course, and the second is the fear of being left alone.
The first one, I couldn't hear you. The first is death, the fear.
First is death,
The physical death. Yes.
and the second is fear of being left alone.
Yeah.
So our mind, although it wants to live in a very, very classical cause effect relation, so what has brain patients which go into our head,
Again, some
we
internet. Yeah.
is the signal okay, right?
No, it's not so good. It's
Yeah.
bad.
It doesn't matter. It's recording still, isn't it?
Yes, it is recording, but the voice broke so much that it was unintelligible.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
So what the brain does to gain control is gather a lot of information. In fact, all information it comes across
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't want to get surprised with anything which can threaten life. And to gain a control over it, creates concepts, categories, labels, to have
Yes.
some meaningful understanding of the world around us.
Yes.
This is to ward off the uncertainty. But there is no, so what the brain does is takes all this, anticipates, and it's a predictive machine,
Yes.
predicts the next moment, and can plan up to whatever time, 1,000 years if it wants. But in fact, even if you plan for 1,000 years, there is no way you can know future.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way. That uncertainty in the head remains. And all our efforts, all our collector's attitude whether it's of knowledge or money or is actually to ward that off. But this
Yes.
is the type of uncertainty which I was talking. There is at a physical level there may be some, but largely the systems at a very very classical gross macro level they are working fine. Our bodies through DNA they work fine, but it's again random.
Mm-hmm.
Which sperm impregnates are over, it's absolute random chance. Philosophy may not believe so. The people who want to believe determinism, they believe everything is pre-decided, right?
Yes.
Even if it is pre-decided, I'm talking from the other side. Even if it is pre-decided, one has to do that journey to reach that point. What is pre-decided?
Yes, for all the variables to combine in a way that there is. Yeah.
So there are so many variables, so
Yes,
many
yes,
people, so
yes.
many minds. We do not know the action of the other person. We do not know what course of action. There's a total chaotic dynamics which is working there.
Yes.
So when people do not become aware of it,
Mm-hmm.
they can keep going in life happily. But once you become aware of it, then the trouble starts.
Yes.
This type of uncertainty
Mm-hmm.
has been realized by few people that actually what mind is doing is trying to gain control over this anxiety of not knowing the future. In fact, if you look at it deeply, now if people say that everything is determined, where is the will? Where is the will? Then questions of free will and all those things come in. But from unconscious to conscious, normally what happens that probably the conscious mind gets few probabilities on which the brain decides
Mm-hmm.
the best decision to survive, not the ideal decision. If you want the ideal, you have to recalibrate your mind. And in that case, you have to learn to tolerate a lot of uh, uncertainty and anxiety.
Yes.
In fact, where is the strength of the man? I think the strength lies in a very, very small space of mind, which a lot of people call it liminal space. And to define is between what is and what can be.
Mm-hmm.
This is space in which you really do not know what is going to be the outcome, what is going to be the next. Now, this space, whether it lasts in seconds or minutes or hours or days or centuries,
Mm-hmm.
it, it all depends on how you approach and what are you planning. But this space is very important. And I think this is where people can be trained.
Yes.
And what training do they need? This same fear of the unknown
Mm-hmm.
can either be turned to curiosity
Yep.
or anxiety.
Yep.
So most people, because if you look at your education system, when were we taught that we have to tolerate uncertainty?
Never. It was always 2 plus 2
Never,
is equal to 4.
always. But that was a societal rule
Yes.
because some people who would form the society's rules, they
Mm-hmm.
would have realized that this type of uncertainty would, okay, so if nothing is known, then everything goes. No moral, no ethics, right? Because everything is forming and getting destroyed and forming and getting destroyed. It's so temporary. And that is why when Gautam Buddha was formulating this whole approach of that there is no self,
Mm-hmm.
everything is impermanent, everything is being formed and just getting lost. He talked before he talked about all these things, he had started talking about ethics. He had
Well,
already given that eightfold way of how to live in the right way. Because probably he would have realized that if I tell people that nothing matters,
mm-hmm.
then there will be no ethics. Everybody will be free to do what they want.
Actually, here I have a question that why does
Yes.
people from different eras, be it the politicians of the contemporary times, or Gautam Buddha, as you
Hmm.
mentioned several times. Why everybody has this black and white thinking that if there is no ethic, there will be complete breakdown of the society. I mean, why they themselves do not give a leverage to the people that if
Hmm.
there are no ethical boundaries or no,
Hmm.
these directions how to live your life, then why don't they give a leverage that people may find something different that even they don't have a assumption about? Like, you understand, there
Because
is this extreme thinking, ethics or
yes,
complete
yes,
breakdown
yes,
of the society.
yes.
They don't see the spectrum.
No, no, no. No, that is because they also suffer from the same fear of uncertainty.
So they were actually not leaders. They were actually people. I mean,
Yeah,
can we say that they were actually themselves just trying to figure out and
most of them.
happen to have some kind of power over people?
Most of them had figured it out for themselves first.
Hmm.
So in their own life, they were living on here and now, right? They were trying to tell people, but they were visionaries in the sense they could see people are not changing. They're still clinging to those concepts. But they're all concepts. If you look at it, everything is a notional thing. What gives
Yes.
somebody a power?
The
A
same
chair?
problem which you started, I will take the answer from how you started this discussion, that the problem is that everybody looks for somebody to rely on, somebody as a scapegoat, and
Yes.
they call the scapegoat as a leader so that they
Yeah.
don't have to take responsibility for the uncertain.
So if a leader sits on a powerful position, what exactly is the power? It's a notional power.
No,
We invest
it's
notional power. We invest notional power in constitution, in the shastras, in the scriptures, right?
isn't it more
Otherwise,
than
if
that?
people say there is no power, what is the power?
The
Huh?
power is that who gets the biggest share of anything,
So societal
material
structure.
things. Hmm.
So power structure, one material thing, the other notional things also.
Yes, yes.
That
Who
if you are a prime
gets?
minister, you have more
Yes,
power than the chief minister,
absolutely. There is,
right?
yes, a
If you are
very
policeman,
realistic.
you have a more power than an ordinary civilian. So society over thousands and lakhs of years has developed multiple layers of, well, power
Yes,
game goes on everywhere.
yes.
Because after all, whatever humans do, they have still not been able to get rid of biology.
In what way?
So this is the
Hmm.
uncertainty coming from biology.
How is the power and biology connected? We were talking about the notion of power.
Okay,
Yeah.
when you gain power, what is
Hmm.
the feeling which comes?
That I have somehow, I have some kind of agency right here with me. For example, in this conversation, I have the
Yeah,
power to give my opinion, to ask a question. Even when you're
right.
speaking, I have a little space. I also have a power to have my voice in this conversation. That is the simplest
Yes.
thing. Yes.
That
Yeah,
is the very
that's it.
simplest level that your
Yeah.
story, your thought process is as valid as mine, and we
Yeah.
are in a discussion,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
But there is another power which which gives a false, illusory sense of security.
Yes, it does. Is it false?
It is, yeah. What if you have lot of money? Will you not die?
I will. There is a high likelihood that I can defeat death compared to somebody who doesn't have money.
Till now, it has not happened.
No, I'll tell you, for example, during COVID or any disease, for example, people who could pay the bills, they had higher chances of
Yes, still,
survival.
no. I am telling you from a hospital experience. Even they died.
They died, but if we see from the statistics, more
Uh,
unfortunately, in US, there was a statistic somewhere that people who
Fine.
could
So
not,
so
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Agreed.
yeah, yeah.
Agreed. Why I say it's a illusory sense of power.
Yes,
Somebody
yes,
dies now, and
yes,
you die after 20 years.
yes. And the
So
quality of life somebody has lived, for example.
quality of life,
See, the food is on table. Somebody is
you know,
saying,
the
yes, please.
yeah. No, I understand. So
Yes,
I'm not saying that this power, this false sense of security
yes.
is just a temporary relief of being different from others and warding off the uncertainty of your life, nothing else.
Okay. So,
So that is why power is arranged in society,
yes.
and that itself is creating a lot of inequality and anxiety.
Yes, power dynamics is creating anxiety and inequality. I agree. Yes.
I will give
Yes.
you a futuristic example.
Yes.
We were talking about AI. Today I was reading a paper.
Yes.
Somebody you have heard of Sophie or Sophia AI agent, which is more or less like humans.
Yeah.
Somebody did a 3 months experiment with that Sophia, writing, giving prompts to her to write letter to her future self,
Okay.
and gave a break for 3 days to think and all. It created all personality characteristics in 3 months,
Okay.
which which was assessed by other four LLM models,
Mm-hmm.
and they could not differentiate between human and non-human.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
so risky. It doesn't mean it has consciousness.
Yeah.
It is organizing the prompts and data in a
Yes.
way the way human thinks.
Mm-hmm.
It may be expressing emotions, but whether it's feeling emotions or not is not the question. The question is, it talks about being in love and respecting. It created a constitution of freedom, equality, liberty, and all that what human beings talk.
Okay. Yeah.
So what I'm saying, I'm not saying that somebody who has a illusion of security with power is going
Mm-hmm.
to behave in a just manner. There's no guarantee.
Absolutely. Yes. There the ethics
Then it
vanish.
then it becomes a
Mm-hmm.
matter of the person who gains this power.
Yes.
It can be a benevolent Gandhi
Mm-hmm.
and it can be a malevolent Hitler. Same power. Both exercised huge power.
Yes.
So one now this is what I was pointing out at the beginning. People in all ages
Mm-hmm.
have been always looking up to somebody
Yeah.
who would give them some surety that things will be all right. Be it religious gurus, be it scriptures, be it a king, or be it a wealthy businessman, or be it today's politician.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when people are going even for in a democracy, what they
Yes.
are still in a very very deeper mind, they are electing a king only.
That's true. Yes.
So the cult of personality all across our myths, that is the truth. Journey of a hero. So average human mind needs a hero, because that
Yes.
hero
Most
gives
like.
create a story in the mind that thinks maybe miserable now. This is the way,
Mm.
and that is one reason. The second is, you were talking of beliefs yesterday.
Uh-huh.
One reason why people do not want to leave their beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
even if it is causing them misery,
Mm-hmm.
even if it is causing them dissatisfaction, is because all that misery is certain, at least.
Right. And do you think there is this other aspect that people run away from taking responsibility, and the moment they throw it to the idea of a belief or a hero or a leader, they just
This
pass
year
it on?
economics Nobel Prize, the person is talking about creative destruction. Creative
Okay.
destruction comes to us from Shiva to uh, what I call it them as micro deaths.
Okay.
What has happened just a moment before is past.
Yes.
That is already died. We are into next. The next moment will be in the next. Actually, what we are doing is micro deaths. What we are trying to save is a memory of the past moment.
Yes, yes, it stays as memory. Yes.
So memory is the fabric of life. It is not something which is the archive.
Isn't
We
it an
think
archive?
because of
Oh,
we
it because
like
it's
to think
building. Okay, it's building like a fabric.
building all
It's
the
being
time.
woven. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It is forming the next moment.
Yes. Yes.
It is memory makes us conscious of what we know now. We know nothing except memory actually. We can't see the next moment. We are anticipating that this scenario in exact this moment, if we freeze
Mhm,
and we continue to flow in time, which is a metaphor obviously,
mhm.
this will be the same because the sameness is coming from the memory. We started talking
Yes.
until 40 minutes, we will be appearing more or less similarly. Is the memory which build up in the first minute. So you see what is happening. Memory is creating an anticipation of the future, and our present is being labeled and amalgamated with memory and emotion and feeling and all that. And it's a palimpsest of reality which we are seeing. Brain is creating that it wants you to believe all that. Otherwise, if you don't believe, you will be in a total vacuum,
Yes.
and the anxiety will be too much. This is the uncertainty I was talking about. So, and when these beliefs get more, I see psychiatry patients, there are people who I fail to understand why aren't they understanding that what they are talking again and again is consolidating their illness. Because you keep telling yourself the negative things, why can't they take their mind off? Then suddenly sometimes I realize that this person, when they are talking, has nothing else to focus on.
Yeah.
Nothing else to focus on. This is the most certain thing he knows. Sadness is security.
Yes.
So in the past, when people were talking of God, and in Hindu philosophy, they're talking of Atma, and you should be one with God, and all, this was the alternative which was given to people to get out of the misery and the grind of life, to defocus from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you understand? So where
Yes.
God comes, the empowerment is in the hands of God. You are empowered by your connection. That is you strive for. Buddha took this in a reverse way. He said, don't bother about God. It's not relevant. You empower yourself by handling your own brain, by watching your own brain.
Okay.
Don't cling to these memories. So, this whole game of brain creating a certain worldview, umwelt, is to make us give us a sense of security. Now, you expand this, societal rules will come in, power
Mm-hmm.
will come in.
Mm-hmm.
In that, inequality, injustice, this, that, gender, everything will come in that.
Yes.
So when I said in the last talk that these are all stories built up by us, we make our stories and we believe them.
Yeah. It. Okay. Please continue. Then I'll have a question. Yeah.
And so maybe the brain did not want in first place, the evolution did not want us to know the reality and experiences that is as it is.
How would it be like if we start
Yeah,
doing
but
it?
you don't realize it. So you don't realize what is gravity.
Mm-hmm.
We are all made of electrons. We don't go back to the quantum wave and probability within us.
Yes.
We don't realize that our electrons and other electrons are entangled. This is a crisis in physics, also, by the way.
Okay.
Some
So.
people are saying that all this while, without understanding the foundation,
Mm-hmm.
nobody bothered about it. The mathematics of it turned out to be of great practical application. So, Richard Feynman used to say, nobody understands, you can't visualize quantum, but you can make a quantum computer out of that. It is like you heard of brain computer interfaces. You
Yes.
pick up a EEG signal, make a prosthetic hand move.
Yes.
don't think everybody who is doing this understands how the brain functions. They're not interested.
Yes.
What they're interested is in the easy signal.
Yeah.
Convert that signal to movement. So, what I'm saying, at a very, very basic foundation, maybe evolution, the way it has happened,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe the way our brain has evolved, this whole process of thought
Yes.
is to create a representation of your mental state.
Yeah.
It's an envelope
Yeah.
which is carrying your needs, your instinct. So you thought maybe for let me give you an example. You thought maybe that I'm thirsty.
Yes.
See, in our thoughts, that thirst will be represented. So it will be a need, instinct. It's not only words, not only concepts.
Yes.
Brain is creating concepts to make a meaning of the world. But what you go to drink is your decision. You will postpone your thirst, but sooner or later you'll have to decide. So I think free will, as in free will,
Yes.
doesn't exist.
Mm.
By physical system, you're bound by gravity, time, space, all that stuff.
Yes.
By your memories, by your conditioned mind,
Mm-hmm.
by what you have been taught from childhood. You can't move your hand otherwise. You have to hold a cup like this only. This is your evolution. What can you do? You can't eat by your feet. You are so bound. What has happened, what where our mind lies,
Mm-hmm.
where the will comes, is that your mind, a conscious mind, can have a lot of probabilities. You decide whether you want to shout at a person or you don't want to shout. That you can train.
Yeah. So, these are uh, these are broader concepts. These are more abstract concepts. And can we draw a
Practical, but
parallel?
no, no, they're not. So abstraction is being created by physiology and the needs and the way we live.
Right. I
So we
mean,
create concepts,
mm-hmm.
we believe them,
Yes.
we ruminate over them,
Yes, that's how.
and get trapped in them.
Yes, we are comfortable in our own loops. Yes. This is, I mean, this is a this is a very clear outline of how the brain uh, deals with this idea of not taking your own responsibility, throwing it on somebody, call it whoever, belief or a real person, and uh, being very comfortable in our own little set of ideas. Uh,
Yes.
that is also, I understand that part. Can we also, in our next conversation, because we have less than 5 minutes left for today, so can we in
Yes.
our next conversation have some more real life situations, for examples, when we are in schools and colleges, where we are following a roadmap, how we should be. Everything is, hypothetically very certain. And yet there are extreme anxieties, confusions in these young people's minds, even when they are in this structured environment, schools, colleges, offices, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can
So
we
I will
get
wrap
to,
up with one sentence, and then
yes,
maybe you can sum up before we suddenly log off. Syllabus, the way of teaching, everything is decided from the top.
yes,
Nature creates diversity. Genetic genome may be the same, but with minor differences, we have huge differences between us, between
yes,
chimpanzee and us. Schools and institutions do not accept diversity because they have been set up with a certain idea and chart and mandate and whatever. Human beings are different.
yes,
Not everybody's learning style is the same. But right from lower class,
mm-hmm.
the same structure. And that is why you can ask, why doesn't everybody perform well? Because everybody is not given to that way of learning. It is good that they are rebels who go and explore their own talent and become musicians and cricketers and
Mm-hmm.
scientists and all that. System is made to make assembly line production. Why? Because I told you previously, society doesn't want too many aberrations.
Yeah.
It has to train people in a certain way. It is fine also. If you train too many civil engineers running their own direction, a bridge will never be made.
And yet they teach an entire generation of children the same syllabus. So such a contradiction within the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
education education doesn't allow you to explore yourself.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
up to you to do that.
How?
It is up to us to find that liminal space of what is and what can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
The gap between certainty to uncertainty.
So,
The training should be, Gagan, is to how to turn that anxiety of uncertainty into curiosity,
yes. Next time, let's
so that
speak
you
about it, please.
so that you explore, so that you find out what is your inner nature. Because in spite of being in an assembly line production machine, you still will have your inner nature.
Yes, but where is the time in that, and where you find
That
like-minded people? Y-
so yeah, that is
Yes. Yes.
difficult, but nevertheless, there are people for everybody. There are places. One should so that's what I'm saying. One should not be afraid of uncertainty.
I
Why
agree,
I'm
and
talking from
yes.
last time uncertainty,
Yes.
that is
Yes.
the inherent nature of life. We should not be, we should rather be facing and experiencing it to create something out of it, rather than rush away and cool our heels in belief systems.
Exactly. I agree to it, and that's why I want to explore
We'll end
this
at that because it
idea.
is less than a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Please.
don't be afraid of exploring liminal space of what is and what can be. See, all evils, all good things, everything comes out in this space. Illness, crime, addictions, creativity, great scriptures, great work, all comes in that space of what is and what can be.
Yes.
Learn to harness that. This should be taught to kids.
This should be spoken about also in the next